Hey guys, we are back at Covenant, and today we have a tour of a guard station as well as a scout shop slash worker drop-off area. Now Covenant's coming along very nicely, and we're very close to being completely done. Just one more video and then the final tour. Now you will notice in today's video a little bit less decoration than what I'm normally used to putting down, but the frame rates here at Covenant have just continued to drop, and I had to limit it a little bit just to keep the video watchable. So if you notice any drops in frame rates, that's the reason. And also I'm a little bit under the weather, so if my voice sounds off today, that's why. But with that said, let's get started, shall we? Well, let's go ahead and start things off with a walk around of the exterior. And as you can see, there's a couple of pack mannequins there. Also, a couple of mannequins just sitting in a shopping cart. That's interesting. And that brings us to the shop front here. You can see a skull sitting out on the counter, as well as some bone chimes hanging there from the ceiling, just to act as a warning, just in case you might be in the wrong place. You can see the shack is pretty junkily made. In fact, the whole little corral there is made up of wood scraps and some cages. You can see even the coverage for the entrance there is just one board spanning across the gap. Now over here we have the guard station. And you can see it's an elevated guard station there. There's a couple of dog houses built underneath it. I mean, it is the pack after all. They are pretty fond of their dogs. Now this guard station protects the furthest most point out of the settlement here, as well as guards the side entrance here to any of the scout housing, or at least some of the scout housing on this side of the settlement. You can see we have a little fire laid out in front of it. Little seating area there with some food and some beer laying on the ground. Now this guard station is elevated, and you can see they use the slope of the ground as well as some of the rock to create a stairway so they can get on top of there. And this as well is fairly junkily made with just scraps of wood. Now as we make our way up, you can get a better view of what the actual guard station looks like. You can see it's pretty simple. Just an elevated platform with a refrigerator door for a little bit of extra protection for the guard standing there. Now as we look over here, we can see a chem box there, some explosive crates, of course his rifle laying out, and then a little seating area for when it's time to take a break. And then of course some ammo and food. Looks like a little bit of jet there as well on the table. I guess if you're going to be standing guard, you might as well be having a good time. And then of course a great view of the road. Now let's go take a look at that shop we have over there. You can see, just walk right on down the rocks there. I really am enjoying building here at Covenant. Really excited to share the final tour. Just a little bit more building to do, and we should be good to go. Now let's just go ahead and cross this pathway and check out the interior of the scout shop. Closer look at that board there. Of course you have some can chimes, just as a little bit of a warning in case the shopkeeper isn't paying attention. Now over here we have a little bench seating area as well as a food prep station. Got to be able to cook some food for the workers you're storing here or for yourself. And that brings us to the workers' storage. Now I imagine the scouts would go out and capture any workers and they'd come here for processing. The smaller workers would fit in these cages here. Looks like we got a couple of gnomes. Oh, luckily they're locked up, can't get to us. Let's move on. And then over here, your full-size workers will go until they're processed out, either for sale or to work here. Looks like over here we have somebody working on their mask. Have some paint cans on the ground there, as well as some tools laid out on that table. Now, inside the shop, we have more tools for sale, as well as a little makeshift cinder block chair. Then, of course, on this counter here, some handcuffs, looks like some shock collars, just in case you have to restrain anybody. And then over here at the main counter, looks like there's a cap stash. Oh, as well as a little shotgun there, just in case there's any trouble. Then, of course, on the counter itself, looks like we have a little storage box. And, of course, a good view of the road. Just a nice, simple shack. I love how pieced together it is. I used a lot of CVC's Dead Wasteland for this. And I'll go ahead and link all the mods I used in a Google Doc in the description below. But for the most part, that's where a good deal of it came from. Nice you have a little compact area here, and then of course the guard tower. The rest of the builds here at Covenant are going to be like this. I'm only going to show off one more in just one other video, and then that way the rest of it can be a surprise for the final tour. Now let's go around and take another look at the front. And on the way we can see the view down the road. Everything on either side is pack territory. I would definitely be careful if you're wandering around this part of the Commonwealth. I really love the way that storefront looks. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Drop me a comment down below if you have any thoughts on where I should build next. I have a pretty good list of places to build and things to build. I'm just not sure exactly what to do. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. Subscribe if you want to see when my next video goes live. We'll be back here at Covenant, finishing things up for the final tour. And just as a quick reminder, I created a Discord for the community. I post images from upcoming builds there, as well as discuss all things Fallout. So if that sounds interesting, come hang out. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and until then, enjoy your time in the Commonwealth.